Islam is the way of life. Islam is the way of life. Islam is the way of life. The way of life.
Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Salatu wassalamu ala Sayyidil Mursaleen. أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الصلاة والسلام عليك يا رسول الله وعلى آلك وأصحابك يا حبيب الله الصلاة والسلام عليك يا نبي الله وعلى آلك وأصحابك يا نور الله. There are many blessings of reciting Durood Pak upon Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Indeed, the Prophet of Rahmat, the intercessor of the Ummah, the owner of Jannat, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, has said, whoever recites salat upon me 100 times a day and night of Friday, Allah Azza wa Jal fulfill 100 of his needs, out of which 70 will be in the hereafter and 30 will be in this world. Sallu ala al-Habib, sallallahu ta'ala ala Muhammad, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. My dear viewers of Madani Channel, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, in the previous episode we learnt how not to waste food and how this can be a means of losing blessings. Today we're ignorant to this great blessing of Allah Azza wa Jal, and we don't think twice before throwing food out. Yet we learnt that there were so many blessings in food, and that by wasting food and disrespecting food we could be losing these blessings, and it could be a cause of a restriction in our sustenance and a cause of deprivation. Indeed, the scholars have written that there are a number of causes of deprivation and losing of blessings in sustenance, in food. I'll just go through a few of those. To eat without washing your hands, to eat without covering your head, because it is sunnah to cover your head whilst you're eating, to eat in the dark, to eat and drink sitting at a doorstep, to eat near the deceased, to eat when ghusl is farz upon you, to delay eating after food has been served, to eat on a bed without a dining mat, to eat whilst you are sitting by the headboard and the food is served towards the feet can be a cause of deprivation. Similarly, to bite the bread directly instead of breaking it off with the hands can lead to deprivation of sustenance. The scholars of Islam write that to use broken clay utensils, plates which are chipped, it is makruh to drink water or tea from a cup that is broken, and similarly, plates that have chips and are broken should not be used. It is also makruh and takes away the blessings if we eat in plates that are unclean. Some people have this habit, which is a custom, that they wash their hands in the actual plate that they've eaten in. This is disliked and can be a cause of deprivation. Swallowing food particles that are stuck in the teeth, having removed them with a toothpick or dental floss, is wrong. If the food is removed with the tongue, then that is fine. To leave the plates, glasses, etc. uncovered is wrong and can lead to loss of blessings in food. One should recite Bismillah and then cover them, because if they are left uncovered, then the scholars write that calamities descend into the food and the drink and spoil them, causing illness. To disrespect food in any way and to throw it in places where it can be disrespected leads to a loss in blessings. Especially today, when we have bread and food left over, we throw it onto the path in the hope that birds and other animals will eat it. But yet, people walk along that path and they tread on the food. This is disrespect of the food. So my dear Islamic brothers and viewers of Madani Channel, we should avoid disrespecting the food, and we should try and protect the blessings of Allah Azza wa Jal. Now, we've learnt a number of beautiful sunnahs of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and one of those was that to eat with 3 fingers is a beautiful sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And we learned that there are medical benefits in doing this. Hazrat Sayyidina Amir bin Rabi'a radiyallahu anhu has narrated that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam would eat food with 3 fingers and then would lick them clean after eating the food. Subhanallah. Hazrat Jabir radiyallahu anhu says that Aka sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to order us to lick our fingers and wipe the used dish clean, and said, "You do not know as to which part of the food has blessings, so that if you cleaned the plate with your finger and made sure it was completely clean, you've taken all of it, and inshallah the blessings with it." Today, regretfully, we don't adopt these beautiful manners. My dear Islamic brothers, there are a few fortunate people who are reaping these rewards by consuming their food in accordance with the Sunnah. The above hadith very clearly states that blessings can be in any part of the food. Yet when we look at our plates, we see that we've left so much. Not only are we disrespecting and wasting this food, but we are missing out on these blessings. A lot of the time when we sit down to eat and there is meat on a bone, we take the portions which are easy to take and then leave the bone to one side, yet it still has a lot of meat on it. We consider it an insult in a way to spend time cleaning the bone, and out of arrogance we toss it to one side. This is wrong. This is a gift from Allah Azza wa Jal. We should take care to make sure that every edible particle on the bone is cleaned and consumed properly. If possible, we should make sure that anything left in the plate is properly eaten, so that there is very little or no wastage. As the Sayyidina Ka'b bin Ujrah radiyallahu anhu has narrated, "I once saw the beloved Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam eat with his thumb, his index finger and the middle finger. I then saw that he sallallahu alaihi wasallam licked his fingers clean before wiping them. He sallallahu alaihi wasallam first licked the middle finger, then the index finger, and then finally the thumb." Subhanallah. In this way, my dear Islamic brothers and viewers of Madani Channel, we learn the sunnah of how to clean the fingers. And if we act upon this, just the amal, just the act of actually licking your fingers will get you great reward, and the reward of acting on a beautiful sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Aka sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to lick the fingers 3 times. The scholars write that if there are still particles of food on the fingers, even after you've licked them 3 times, then lick them again. But make sure that your fingers are clean. It is stated in Shumail al-Tirmizi that Aka sallallahu alaihi wasallam would lick his fingers clean 3 times after eating. Subhanallah. My dear Islamic brothers and viewers of Madani Channel, the Prophet of Rahmat, the intercessor of the Ummah, the owner of Jannat, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, has stated, "Whoever licks his fingers and wipes the plate after eating, Allah Azza wa Jal will keep him satisfied in the world and the hereafter." Do we need anything else? Look at this amazing Hadith Mubarakah. What are we doing? We are carrying out that activity we do all the time. We are just eating. That's what we're doing. But because we're doing it in accordance with the Sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, we receive the glad tidings of this Hadith Mubarak, that whoever licks his fingers and wipes the plate clean after eating, Allah Azza wa Jal will keep him satisfied in the world and the hereafter. Subhanallah. May Allah Azza wa Jal give us the tawfiq to act upon this beautiful sunnah. My dear Islamic brothers and viewers of Madani Channel, Aka sallallahu alaihi wasallam has stated that the plate should not be removed unless the eater has wiped it clean himself, or he has made somebody else wipe it clean, as there are more blessings at the end. Today, our plates, when we collect them at the end, have food still in them. Hazrat Sayyidina Nubayshah radiyallahu anhu has narrated that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam stated, "Whoever wipes the plate clean after eating, the plate will make dua for his forgiveness." Subhanallah. What an amazing Hadith Mubarakah in Sunnah Ibn Majah. That Aka sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Whoever wipes the plate clean after eating, the plate will make dua for his forgiveness." Subhanallah. In another hadith in Mubarakah, it is also mentioned that the plate says, "O Allah Azza wa Jal, free him from the fire of hell as he has freed me from shaitan." Why? Because the renowned commentator of the Quran, Mufti Ahmad Yar Khan alayhi rahmatur rahman, has said that if the plate is used for eating and left and not cleaned, then the shaitan licks it. So by cleaning your plate, using your finger, alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen, you not only gain the blessings, but you also defeat the shaitan. And in the same book, Mufti Ahmad Yar Khan goes on and says, wiping the plate clean after eating shows respect for food and saves it from being wasted. Leaving the plate with food particles on it causes flies to settle on it. Furthermore, ma'azallah, the leftover food is thrown away on the garbage heap, which is a disrespect. If every person left a little amount of food in your household, just think about how much food you'd be wasting in every meal, in every day, in a week, in a month. Kilos of food going to waste, and many, many virtues and blessings disappearing onto the garbage heap. Today, we should make it a habit of making sure that our plates are clean, making sure that our children learn this beautiful sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wasallam. And then let's move on to another amazing hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Aka sallallahu alayhi wa sallam stated, as documented in Kanzul Ummal, that it is dearer to me to wipe the bowl clean than to give an entire bowl of food in charity. Subhanallah. And this is because the scholars write that the act of wiping the bowl clean shows humility and humbleness, which is more superior in reward than giving food in charity. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam stated, whoever wipes the plate, licks his fingers clean, Allah Azza wa Jal will fill his stomach in the world and the hereafter. In other words, he will be saved from destitution and starvation in this world and from hunger on the day of judgment, and will be granted refuge from the fire of hell, because no one's stomach will be full in hell. Subhanallah. Look at the benefits we get by acting upon these small but beautiful sunnahs of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And Imam Ghazali rahmatullah alayhi gives us another glad tiding. He says, the one who wipes the dish clean after eating it, pours some water into the plate, and then drinks that water, gets the reward of freeing a slave. Subhanallah. In his amazing book, Ihya al-Ulum, in the second volume, he writes this beautiful, beautiful pearl of wisdom. My dear Islamic brothers and viewers of Madani Channel, we need to realize that in these small actions, there is great reward and a great blessing. This complain all the time that the food and the sustenance and the earnings aren't sufficient. Maybe we are throwing them away with our own hands. We should wipe the plate clean. We should make an effort to make sure that we don't waste food. We should have the Madani mindset that Amir al-Sunnah Damat Barakatum al-Aliyah writes, that not only should we wipe the plate clean, but if the food came in a dish and we've taken the food from that dish, that dish should be clean. Nothing should be left in that dish. Would the pot, the utensil you use to cook the food, it's not permissible to leave food at the bottom of that and throw it on the garbage heap. That should be wiped clean as well. And in this way, you will make sure that you maintain the blessings. When you drink water, sometimes brothers have a habit to leave a little bit at the bottom. You shouldn't. Maybe the blessing was in that part. Make sure you finish it off. Pots, pans, kettles, no matter what it is, even the spoon, my dear viewers of Madani Channel, we should make sure that food isn't wasted on the spoon, and we should wipe it clean. Leftover food in large pots is often thrown away. We should make sure that we clean that and put it before. These days, we have the facility of fridges. These can preserve the food for at least a few days. Why then throw the food away out of disrespect and arrogance, when we can simply put it into a plate, cover it up reading Bismillah, and then put it in the fridge. And then the next day, we can present it back on the table, and somebody will eat it. Another problem that we have these days is that some people, they become angry or they become upset when somebody asks them, how much do you want to eat? When the mother of their children says, let me know exactly how many rotis, how many chapatis you want. And they start asking questions like, why are you going to give me just what I... The reason that this is a crucial question, my dear Islamic brothers, is that if she cooks and makes the chapatis in accordance with what everybody's going to eat, then there is going to be very little wastage. Because in our households, often at the end of the meal, the bread and the roti, the chapatis are the things that get thrown away. And so much in a week we waste that we could feed a family by that. This is where we lose our blessings. So we should make an effort to try and make sure that when the Islamic sisters are cooking, they don't cook too much. When they are making the roti, they should make sure that they know exactly how much they need. They shouldn't just carry on making them and then end up throwing them on the rubbish heap. My dear Islamic brothers and viewers of Madani Channel, the scholars of Deen are so particular that they say that even when you've poured water into the plate and drank it, there are still drops of water left in the bowl. Don't even waste that little drop of water. Don't waste that little drop of water inside the glass. And yet, what do? We waste whole chapatis and whole plates of curry and whole plates of food. And then our children see this. And when they see us throwing food away, they lose that respect for food, and they lose that respect for this great blessing of Allah Azza wa Jal. And they grow up thinking that this food isn't anything special. Yet, it is a great blessing from Allah Azza wa Jal. Yet, it was a great gift that Allah Azza wa Jal had granted you, and many other people in the world are not given this gift and struggle to make ends meet. This is why the more we respect food and we more teach our children, they will grow up to respect and thank Allah Azza wa Jal for this gift. And my dear Islamic brothers and viewers of Madani Channel, some of you might think that this is the alhamdulillah, the Islamic tradition of how to clean the plate and how to wipe it clean. Let me give you the medical angle as well. Because what the scientists are telling us now, it's taken them, a long time to catch up with the Sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But no Sunnah of Aka sallallahu alaihi wasallam is devoid of any wisdom. They are full of hikmat and wisdom. And today, modern science is saying, actually, there is a beauty in these Sunnah Mubarakah. Why? Because vitamins, especially the vitamin B complex, is found at the bottom of the utensil. It's at the bottom of the plate. It's at the bottom of the dish. So, when you clean the bottom of the plate, you pick up these essential minerals. And it's not just vitamin B complex. They say that there are many other minerals and very, very beneficial parts of the food which are found at the bottom. And when they are consumed by licking or eating the whole of it, alhamdulillah, you gain protection from diseases. And this is now the scientists catching up with the sunnahs of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and saying, yes, do this. Why? Because it's very beneficial. My dear Islamic brothers and viewers of Madani Channel, we didn't need the scientists to tell us that. The fact that there were sunnahs of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam were good enough for us. But as an extra, even science is saying, follow the sunnahs of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Another problem these days is that we tend to eat very hot food. Some brothers, they eat steaming hot pies and steaming hot tea. Yet, Aka sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, a beautiful hadith narrated by Hazrat Sayyidina Jabir radhiyallahu anhu, that allow hot food to cool before eating, as hot food contains no blessings. Allah Allah. And then Hazrat Sayyidina Juwairiya radhiyallahu anha has narrated that the Noble Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam did not like to consume hot food unless the steam had stopped rising from it. Dear Islamic brothers, today we should allow the food to cool. Obviously, we don't let it get cold, but we let it cool so that it becomes comfortable. Because today, what happens is we take the food when it's too hot, it's almost steaming, and then it causes problems. It causes burns in our mouth, blisters, and it causes all sorts of throat and stomach problems. Drinking extremely hot tea and coffee, it causes an increased risk of gastritis, stomach problems, inflammation of the stomach, blisters in the mouth, blisters in the throat. Or drinking very cold water after a hot beverage, hot drinks, again harms the gums and the stomach. But if we acted accordance with the Sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and let the food cool down, we would be saved from all these problems. My dear Islamic brothers and viewers of Madani Channel, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, we are very blessed. We are very blessed that we have the beautiful sunnahs of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam to show us how to gain the maximum blessings from these gifts of Allah Azza wa Jal. Another problem, sometimes we don't know what to do if we think that the food is unclean. Sometimes if a speck is found on one part of the plate, we get up and we throw the whole plate away. Allah Allah. Or a hair is found in one part of the plate, we pick the whole plate up and it goes in the bin. One common thing that we find is that when a fly has fallen into a liquid, milk or tea or something else, then obviously we throw the whole thing away. But hang on a minute, is that what we have been taught? No. If it ever happens, we are told to submerge the whole of the fly into the drink and then throw away the fly and then drink the rest without any disgust. Why? Because Aka sallallahu alayhi wa sallam stated, if a fly falls into food, submerge it completely and then throw it away, as one of the wings has a cure whilst the other has a disease. When it falls into the food, it first sets the wing of disease onto the food. Therefore, submerge it completely so that the wing that contains the cure removes the effect of the diseased wing. Subhanallah. And let me tell you this, look at what Aka sallallahu alayhi wa sallam was teaching us. And today, scientists are saying that the vision is amazing because that is exactly what it has. One of the wings has a virus and the other wing of a fly has an antivirus. So that if it falls into food and you dip it in fully, then the harmful effects of the antivirus, so if you dip the whole fly in, the harmful effects of the virus are cancelled by the antivirus and the food becomes harmless and perfectly normal. Subhanallah. Today scientists have said this is true. Aka sallallahu alayhi wa sallam taught this. And then eating meat. Today we use knives and forks, etc. But Hazrat Aisha Siddiqa radhiyallahu anha has narrated that Aka sallallahu alayhi wa sallam has stated, do not cut meat with a knife when eating it, as this is the practice of the Ajmis. Eat meat by biting it, as this is more tasteful and delightful. However, if it's a big piece, then you can cut it into smaller pieces to make the proportions. But it is more tasteful and delightful to take pieces from the whole. Subhanallah. My dear Islamic brothers and viewers of Madani Channel, there are so many benefits of acting on the sunnahs of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Now I know what you may be thinking. You may be thinking, well, we've covered quite a lot, and how am I going to remember this? Well, there is a very easy way to learn these. One can learn these practically in the beautiful Madani Kafilas of Dawat Islami. When you travel in the Madani Kafilas with the devotees of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, you will learn all these sunnahs practically, and because inshallah you will travel in Madani Kafilas time and time again, over a short time these beautiful sunnahs will become habits, and once they become habits we will gain these great rewards that are highlighted in the various hadith mubarakah. My dear Islamic brothers, one thing that we're often asked about is toothpicks and splinters. Let me tell you that the importance of picking one's teeth has been described in several hadith mubarakah. It is narrated by Sayyidina Abu Hurairah that Aka sallallahu alayhi wa sallam has said, one who eats food and removes the bits of food if embedded between the teeth by using a toothpick should spit it out, and if he removes them using his tongue he should swallow it, and the one who does this has done well, and if he does not do it there is no harm. So Aka sallallahu alayhi wa sallam has taught us to clean our teeth. Sayyidina Abu Ayyub Ansari narrated that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam was once approached us and said, how admirable are the ones who do khilal. The companions asked, Ya Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, what do they do? The admirable ones do khilal. Aka sallallahu alayhi wa sallam replied, the ones who do khilal during wuzu and the ones who do khilal after eating. Khilal in wuzu is to rinse the mouth, sniff the water into the nostrils, and to do khilal of the fingers, whereas khilal of eating is to pick one's teeth after eating. There is nothing more disturbing to Kiraman Katibin than to see a person to whom they have been assigned offer his salat with something stuck between his teeth. And Kiraman Katibin are the two angels who record our deeds. Today when we eat, we don't even rinse our mouth. Yet we learnt in the earlier episodes that we should do the wuzu after eating, which is basically rinsing the mouth and washing the hands. And if we did at this time miswak sharif as well, and we used a toothpick to remove the bits of food, then there would be great benefit in this. Today we learn that Aka sallallahu alayhi wa sallam has stated that when any one of you stand at night to offer salah, you should clean your teeth with miswak, because when you recite the Quran, an angel places his mouth on your mouth, and anything coming out of your mouth enters the mouth of the angel. Subhanallah. There is a report narrated by Sayyidina Abu Ayyub Ansari that Imam Tabrani notes, and he says there is nothing more troublesome for both the angels than to see their companion offer salah with bits of food still stuck in the teeth. Now, bits of food getting stuck in the teeth is natural. There are small gaps between the teeth, and when you eat and when you chew, bits of food end up between the teeth. But if you clean them afterwards, then it removes these bits. And Sayyidina Umar stated, the bits of food which remain stuck between teeth actually weaken molars, weaken your teeth. But dear Islamic brothers and viewers of Madani Channel, there is a beautiful hadith Mubarakah that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, when any one of you stand at night to offer salah, you should clean your teeth with miswak, because when you recite the Quran, an angel places its mouth over your mouth, and anything that comes out of your mouth enters the mouth of the angel. Subhanallah. Look at the beauty of somebody standing in salah and reciting the Quran. And then if you have cleaned your teeth properly and your mouth smells fresh, then the angel is not disturbed by this. In another reported narration of Sayyidina Ayyub Ansari, it is noted by Imam Tabrani rahmatullah alayh that by having food stuck between the teeth causes trouble for your companion, your angels. As the Sayyidina Umar says that the bits of food which remain stuck between the teeth actually weaken your molars, weaken your teeth. My dear Islamic brothers, there are several hadith Mubarakah in relation to cleaning one's teeth properly. And my dear Islamic brothers, we'll run through those so that we can remember them. Because doing the khilal of the teeth using a toothpick is a sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Before you do it, recite Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. This is another beautiful sunnah. Make the intention that I will gain help in using miswak to pick my teeth so that it prevents the food rotting. Because what happens to the particles that are stuck between the teeth? Over time, the food starts to rot, and this makes our mouth smell and it damages our gums. By cleaning the teeth, alhamdulillah, it gives us fresh breath. By cleaning my teeth, I'll make it easy for myself to rinse my mouth thoroughly and do wuzu. By picking the teeth, I will protect my mouth from diseases. These are all beautiful intentions that we can make. You can also make the intention that I will try not to disturb the angels and other namazi, because if we have bits of food left in our mouth, stuck to our teeth, and over time it rots, there's a smell, and that will disturb the other namazi, the other people who pray with us, those around us that we meet, we talk to, the angels with us. So when cleaning your teeth, if we did it with the intention that we're going to make it easier for the angels and everybody else because I'm going to have fresh breath, and I'm presenting myself in the court of Allah Azza wa Jal. So I don't want to present myself in the court of Allah Azza wa Jal with bad breath. I want to go with a fresh mouth. My dear Islamic brothers and viewers of Madani Channel, today we take this very lightly. Yet often people are disturbed by the smell in our mouths. Even when we do wuzu, we take a little bit of water, we quickly flush it around, and we throw it back out very quickly. The danger of this is that we may not be doing it properly. Now in wuzu, rinsing the mouth is a sunnah. But remember this, my dear Islamic brothers, that in ghusl it is farz. As you know, there are 3 farz in ghusl. The first is to rinse the mouth thoroughly so that not even a single portion of the mouth remains dry. If you're not fasting, then you gargle so that water reaches the back of the throat. Then it's farz, it is obligatory to sniff water up into the nose so that it hits the soft bone and you feel slightly uncomfortable, and then to pour water all over the body so not even a single hair remains dry. But if we have this bad habit of quickly taking up a little bit of water and spurting it out and thinking that we've rinsed our mouth, then we may not be doing our ghusl properly, which has very, very many dangers. My dear Islamic brothers, when you rinse your mouth, try and do it thoroughly, and try and do it with the intention of acting upon a beautiful sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. There are many, many diseases of the mouth that you can prevent. There are gum diseases that you will prevent. When the food that you eat rots away, the gums are eaten away. And as you get older, your gums become weaker, your teeth become weaker. And also, remember this, that if you've had food, you've consumed food, and the bits are still rotting in your teeth, and you haven't, after you finished your meal, properly cleaned your teeth, then many hours later, when you have a drink, those particles may get dislodged and end up in your stomach. And there is clear evidence which suggests that those particles get into the stomach and cause stomach diseases. They can lead to all sorts of problems. And then the type of drinks we drink, strong coffees, strong teas, and bayan, etc., these also damage our teeth. But by reducing the intake of these, by controlling these, and by cleaning our teeth properly, every time we do wuzu, if we act upon this beautiful sunnah of miswak sharif, and we do the miswak regularly, then alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen, we will be saved from so many diseases. Your teeth will be protected. Your stomach is protected from illnesses. And miswak is a very beautiful sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And the way to hold the miswak is to have 3 fingers on top and a finger underneath. And then I'll read to you some beautiful Madani pearls in relation to acting upon this beautiful sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Miswak should be as thick as the little finger. The miswak should be no longer than the span of a hand, because if it's any longer, the shaitan sits on that. The strands of the miswak should be soft, otherwise they may cause damage to the space in between the teeth. You should use fresh miswak if available and place it in a glass of water to soften it up. Trim the ends of the miswak every day, as they are only beneficial so long as they have some bitterness in them. Brush your teeth horizontally with the miswak. Always brush your teeth with miswak at least 3 times. Start with the top right hand corner, clean that and work your way along to this side. Then start with the bottom and holding it in the way that I mentioned, clean the rest of your mouth. The brush of the miswak should be kept upright and left. Using the miswak while lying in bed can cause damage to the spleen, and using the miswak with a fist has been known to cause piles. Miswak is a pre-wudu sunnah. However, it becomes a sunnah mu'akkada when foul smell emanates from your mouth. So if you have a problem with smell coming from your mouth, then you should try and use miswak regularly, and especially at the time of wuzu. And there are great blessings of this. And remember this, my dear Islamic brothers and viewers of Madani Channel, when you've finished with the miswak, try not to throw it away as normal, because it is something which you've used to act upon the sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So keep it somewhere respectful and either bury it or throw it into water to get rid of it. My dear Islamic brothers and viewers of Madani Channel, we should look after our health, and especially our mouth. It is such a great gift of Allah Azza wa Jal to be able to taste food, to be able to chew food, and to have strong gums and strong teeth. And often we fall into a habit of simply brushing once in the morning, and then we end up getting all sorts of problems. But alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen, if we start to learn and act upon these beautiful sunnahs of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, then all the time we will work to protect our mouth from bits of food and from other things that can damage our health. My dear Islamic brothers, One other cure for bad breath that is written by Amir al-Sunnah is this, that if you read Durood Pak of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and there is a particular Durood Pak that Amir al-Sunnah writes here, and if you recite it 11 times in a single breath, then it is a cure for bad breath. And that Durood Pak is Allahumma salli wa sallim ala nabiyyi tahir. Recite that in a single breath 11 times, and inshallah the bad breath will disappear. If you keep repeating it, this constant bad odor from your mouth disappears. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. We know that when we recite Durood Pak upon Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, it leads to a beautiful fragrance. There is a beautiful hadith Mubarakah where Hazrat Sayyidina Umaira bint Aswad radiyallahu ta'ala anha narrated that she and her 4 sisters came to the court of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. At the time, Aka sallallahu alayhi wa sallam was eating a dried type of meat. Aka sallallahu alayhi wa sallam chewed a piece of meat, making it soft, and then gave it to them. Subhanallah. They distributed it amongst themselves and ate it. By the blessings of this, fragrance always emanated from their mouths. As a result of eating this chewed piece of meat that Aka sallallahu alayhi wa sallam gifted to them, their mouths always smelled beautiful. Subhanallah. My dear Islamic brothers and viewers of Madani Channel, look at the blessings of acting upon the Sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and how blessed were those who were given, who saw Aka sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and how blessed were those who learned from Aka sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Sallu ala al-Habib sallallahu ta'ala ala Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. How privileged are we that we have the pleasure and the honor of acting upon the sunnahs of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And these acting upon these beautiful sunnahs not only benefits us in our grave and the hereafter, but there are great worldly benefits to reap, both physical and spiritual. Medically, they're all proved. And alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, the more we act upon them and try and live our life in accordance with them, the greater our life changes. And not only do we get all these benefits, but we come closer to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Because as I said before, the one, Aka sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, the one who loves my sunnah loves me, and the one who loves me will be with me in Jannah. Sallu ala al-Habib sallallahu ta'ala ala Muhammad sallallahu.
Islam is the way.